Major news coming from Haiti is that the neighborhood of Solino is under attack. The neighborhood of Solino is under attack, and this is a coalition of gangs, the Viv Ansamn. This is a coalition of all gangs coming together. This is the same coalition that ousted the former Prime Minister Ariel Henry from power. This is a coalition of gangs that has come together to fight the Kenyan police that are in Haiti and to fight the Haitian National Police. This is just a footage from what is happening currently in Solino. Well, this neighborhood of Solino is part of the 20% that the government controls in Port-au-Prince. We know that the government controls only 20% of Port-au-Prince and gangs control over 80% of Port-au-Prince. That means that the government is trying to hold dear to this 20% to make sure that they don't lose their territory and try to expand. While the gangs have come together again under the Viv Ansamn, and they have gone into Solino, they are wielding their guns, and we have heard reports of people in Solino calling radio stations, telling the situation that is in Solino, that the situation is really bad. They are asking the police officers to go and assist them. They are saying that these gangs have threatened them. They are saying that the gangs have said that if people in Solino are not going to support the gangs, they are going to burn them down to ashes. Those were the exact words that have been used by gangs and gang leaders as a threat to people in Solino, to try and make them to subdue, to make them to fall in place, and simply make them to support the activities of the gangs in the neighborhood of Solino. So currently, as we are speaking, the neighborhood of Solino is under attack, and the people are fleeing that region, and the gangs are trying as much as possible to go in. They seem to have planned all this attack, and this is just coming days after the police officers and MSS officers attacked the Crazy Barrier outside the city, 14 kilometers outside the city, and this is just coming as a retaliation from what the MSS forces did and the police, Haitian National Police, did in Torsel, where they fought the Crazy Barrier. We have seen a response from the Prime Minister, who had an emergency meeting on Monday to try as much as possible to bring all the security agencies together and strategize ways in how to repel these gangs from the Solino neighborhood. We saw the Prime Minister also releasing a decree that the security apparatus that is supposed to be guarding the VIPs in Haiti will now be transferred or redeployed to go to the front lines and protect the citizens of Haiti. And this is a major change in security in Haiti, because there has been a lot of complaints that Haitian National Police are mostly, the elite forces are used to guard the VIPs, the politicians and business people who are living in a particular neighborhood. But right now we are seeing the Prime Minister changing that security strategy and making sure that all these elite forces go to protect the citizens of Haiti in Solino and make sure that Solino does not fall under gang control, because they will be losing part of their 20%, the small percentage that they control in Port-au-Prince. So this is the Prime Minister trying to talk to the police officers and trying to encourage them to go to Solino and protect the Haitian civilians that are suffering under gang control in parts of the neighborhood. Well, as I have said earlier, the Kenyan police and the Haitian National Police are actively responding to the insurgency that is happening in Solino currently. And just a recap of what the Viv Ansamn is. The Viv Ansamn is a coalition of all these gangs coming together, and all these gangs means the 200 gangs and the major coalitions of gangs, the GPEP and the G9, coming together to fight the MSS forces, the Kenyan police majorly, and to fight the Haitian National Police. So that is the mandate of the Viv Ansamn. And the leaders of the Viv Ansamm include Barbecue, that is Jimmy Chirizi himself, leading this coalition of gangs to attack government infrastructure, to take over the ports, the airport, the medical facilities that are going to assist the gangs to continue to grow. So this happened earlier this year, where these gangs came together and they fought the Haitian National Police, and that is the time when they even took over the airport, making sure that no plane is landing. When the former Prime Minister Ariel Henry had come to Kenya, they say that Ariel Henry will not land back in Haiti and that he has to resign. And as it followed, Ariel Henry resigned. So the Viv Ansamm is again coming together to fight the government-controlled regions in Haiti as it had done before. This is a coalition of gangs that started last year in September, where they had this idea of all these gangs coming together. You remember that Haiti has more than 200 gangs, and it is a bit challenging for all these gangs to come together under one ideology, because they constantly fight against each other, but they have succeeded earlier to come together to orchestrate what they did in March of 2024. That is when they even ransacked different police stations and prisons to release their comrades from prison, and it was a total nightmare in Haiti. And that heightened the call to have the deployment of the MSS forces in Haiti. So currently, as we are seeing, they are trying as much as possible to come together again to attack these government-controlled regions, and that calls for more action from the MSS. It also calls for more deployment of the MSS forces. We know that just the other day, the Bahamas contingent came to Haiti, and they are now faced with the real dangers of what is happening in Haiti. That calls for all the countries that are supposed to deploy to Haiti to hasten the process and deploy, because the gang seems to have organized themselves and they have a purpose that they want to control the entire Port-au-Prince. And when they control the entire Port-au-Prince, it means that they will control the seat of government operations in Haiti. So that is what the Prime Minister is really fighting against. That is what the Prime Minister has been advocating for, that there is a need to have more deployment as promised by countries. There is a need to have the 600 Kenyan police officers. There is a need to have all these deployment of financial and equipment support. There is a need to have aerial support, because without aerial support, it is really difficult to have response that will really make sense in such a situation. We saw the other day that the gangs are using all tactics to burn vehicles, to fight guerrilla warfare, and thus there is a need to have all the support, much stronger support that they can get compared to what the gangs are doing. So that is the current situation in Solino. We will continue to update you on what is going on in that part of Port-au-Prince. As far as we know is that the gangs under the Viv Ansamm have come together and they are actively trying to take over the neighborhood of Solino. That is from the government control apparatus, the MSS, and the Haitian National Police, but they are actively responding towards what the gangs are trying to do. And the people of Solino have fled the neighborhood, claiming that they are threatened, that if they don't if they don't go and support the gangs, then they will be burned to ashes. That is the current update of what is happening currently in Haiti.